Another week of comics are in the books, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my pull list review. This is the second time I'm recording this video, so if I fly through this, that's why. I'm a little crunched on time, and unfortunately I had some audio issues, so I appreciate you all for checking me out. I'm Alex. This is Graphic Novel Collector. We're back to the weekly comic book reviews. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a happy and safe New Year's. Thing in my hair, or hair in my mouth. That's gross. Anyways, let's get into this. First up, we've got Falling in Love on the Path to Hell by Jerry Dugan and Gary Brown. I read the first issue in just loose books. Really enjoyed the first issue. I'm really excited to get into this 4-page trade paperback. 4 issues. 4 issues, like... I don't know. I remember when trade paperbacks used to always be like 6 books. Now we get 4. Only $9.99, but still 4 books. Excuse me. Not the, it's fine. It's fine. But I've really enjoyed the first issue. I'm super stoked to get into it. Stay tuned. Stay locked into the channel if you want a full review, because I definitely plan on doing a full review on Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. This is an Image book by Jerry Dugan and Dan Brown? No, not Dan Brown. Gary Brown. Gary Brown. All right, moving on to the actual comic books, the loosies. We've got Radiant Black, the story so far. This is a free book. If you want to get into Radiant Black, I highly recommend you not even purchase. I almost said purchase. You don't have to purchase this book. It's free. They'll just give it to you. This is the best contemporary superhero comic that has been created within the last 10 years or so, in my opinion. I really resonate with the character. If you're a millennial, if you're like between 25 and 35, you're going to really resonate with these characters. I really enjoy it. Actually, if you're even like 40, you might even resonate with these characters. But regardless of your age, you should read it. You should check it out. Radiant Black is, I've got... a slabbed Radiant Black issue number 1 right there. Actually, I've got 2. There's another one down there. Anyways, moving on to the actual full-on books that you have to pay for. We've got The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 65 by Joe Kelly, and art by Cafu. This book, this series, is not doing it for me. Which is really unfortunate. Here's the art. We're getting different artists, it seems like, every week. We're getting... Joe Kelly wasn't even on the book last week. And this is kind of paint by numbers to me. And I hate saying that because I like Joe Kelly. I really do. But this issue, he kind of goes through... He gets this, like, sphere from one of the Scions and... goes through and sees some bad stuff happen and some things about Mary Jane. And it just talks about how everybody dies. And at the end, there's a twist, but not a twist that I really liked. It's just like, come on, let's move Peter Parker out of this, like, oh, woe is me. I don't know. He's an adult, right? He should be more responsible. I don't know. Come on. Make Peter Parker cool again. Like, The Amazing Spider-Man hasn't been good for some time. I think that's generally well known. I think that the editorial has a lot to do with that. That being said, though, can we do something? I know this arc wasn't really going to do anything mind-breaking or groundbreaking, really, but I don't know. It's just a disappointment. I'm going to give this book... I don't know. It wasn't terrible. It's 3 stars. Whatever. Moving on, we've got the Uncanny X-Men. This is issue number 8. This is the final 4 of 4 raid on Graymalkin. First off, I want to say, Marvel, when you do these crossovers where you try and get me to read and buy other books, they had this within X-Men proper. I don't want to read X-Men. I like the Uncanny X-Men. I like this book. I like Gail Simone and Javier Garrón. The art's really good. I really like it. It is very house-style art for for Marvel. That being said, there is an amazing 2-page spread, if I can find it. I found it really quick the first time I recorded this. But of course here, when we're doing it live, look at that. Excellent, excellent 2-page spread. I like what we're doing. We still don't know who is behind door number 1. Excuse me. We still don't know who's behind the door at Greymalkin, but this is an epic. A lot of punchy, not a lot of talky. I'm a fan of that in my X-Men books. But this was an excellent issue. I really, really enjoyed it. I say it once, said it a million times. Gail Simone really knows how to write these characters, has a great voice. Everything that all of these characters say makes sense for who we as comic book readers have known these characters to be. I really like it. Gail Simone's crushing it. 4-star book. Really enjoying it. Next up, we've got Transformers. This is issue 16. Daniel Warren Johnson, Jorge Corona, Sarah Stern on the lettering. This is, of course, Skybound Image. This is great. We've got the Autobots are in 2 separate locations now, on Cybertron and on Earth. One thing I will say, I'm a 90s kid. I do not have the nostalgia that you might for the Transformers IP. I didn't watch. I remember watching the Transformers cartoon movie as a kid, but it didn't resonate with me, right? That being said, Daniel Warren Johnson is an excellent writer. And whether you are a old school Transformers fan, a lapsed Transformers fan, or don't really care about Transformers and your only frame of reference, like me, really is the Michael Bay movies, which were like, this is excellent. Daniel Warren Johnson knows how to write the hell out of a comic book. You care about the human characters, which is something from what I've been seeing on the internet is something that is like literally never happened. Again, I don't know. I don't have that historical reference point. But that being said, you care about the human characters. I'm loving this series. Daniel Warren Johnson right now is the best going, in my opinion. I'm absolutely loving this book. 4 stars. Jeez. Should have brought a bottle of water down. But Transformers, absolutely phenomenal. Loving this series. If you're not reading it, you definitely should be. Next up, which is going to be my pick of the week, it's going to be Absolute Batman. This is issue number 4. This series, this is Scott Snyder. Nick Dragotta, notably not on the art in this one. That being said, I really like the art in this one. I don't think everybody will, but that's okay. This is Gabriel Hernandez Walta on the art. Let me show you some of the interior art. It's different, right? It's not Nick Dragotta. Nick Dragotta is a master of his craft. That being said, this art is good, I think. I really like this art. But this issue specifically, we get a lot of character development in a flashback between Bruce and Thomas Wayne. Remember, in this universe, Thomas Wayne was not a doctor, but he references in this pages of this book, he references wanting to be a doctor, a heart surgeon specifically, when he was a kid, because his dad, Thomas's dad that is, not Bruce's, Thomas's dad, died of a massive heart attack, so he always wanted to be one. He ended up being a teacher, and then of course he got shot down at the zoo, and that's how kind of the whole origin story for Bruce Wayne. But this issue was really nice. I loved the small moments in this issue. We've got Bruce building a bridge for some kind of science fair project or something of that description, and he's building to look like a bat. Go figure. But no, this issue was excellent. Like, this is a very down-to-earth. Obviously, the Absolute Universe, especially Absolute Batman so far, has been extremely bombastic and just big and stupid and dumb and fun, in my opinion. This issue was a lot more down-to-earth. We had excellent character moments, character development between Bruce and Thomas. Obviously, this is in the past, and Thomas is dead now. But that being said, I really, really enjoyed this issue. This was a down-to-earth kind of issue, and it shows him like doing different types of Batman. Like, you see him kind of like Year One style. He's got like fangs and much less bulky frame, kind of more like what we would see Batman in the Prime universe, without the fangs, obviously. And then he realizes, I need to be bigger, I need to be better, and that's kind of when he bulks up. And in the last couple pages, you see him look more like the big, bulky, absolute Batman that we've grown to love. At least I have. But no, absolute excellent book. I loved it. Small character moment issues like this are necessary when you're introducing and developing a world and a new character. These are new characters. This isn't your grandpa's Bruce Wayne. This isn't your grandpa's Batman. So I really enjoyed this. 4 stars. Just to recap, we have Absolute Batman, my personal pick of the week. Really, really enjoyed it. A lot of small character moments. We have, seeing Thomas and Bruce together. Absolutely loving it. Scott Snyder, crushing it on this book. I don't care. I'll say it. Next up, we got Transformers. Daniel Warren Johnson, the best in the business, in my opinion. Jorge Corona matches his style of writing really well. You've got some really, really kinetic and energetic 2-page spreads, and just the overall art in this book is phenomenal. The writing is phenomenal. Daniel Warren Johnson doesn't miss. 4 stars on that one. We've got Uncanny X-Men. This was issue 8 by Marvel, of course. Gail Simone absolutely crushing it. Still has an excellent voice for the characters. We did have this little crossover, and I hate when they do that and try and make you buy other books. I'm not going to do it. I will not do it. I simply won't buy the book. I will miss chunks of the story if it means me having to go out and buy other books that I don't want to read. But this was an epic conclusion. Good conclusion. Again, another 4-star book, in my opinion. Excuse me. Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 65. 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. This book's fine. Kind of paint by numbers. Joe Kelly can do a lot more. I don't know if he knew he was going to be continuing writing duties after this arc, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad. I don't want to say that he's like phoning it in, because I don't think that's the case. I think this is an editorial thing. They just refuse to let Peter Parker grow as a character. He's stuck at being like a early 20s kid. He's not a kid, but a young adult with these young adult problems, and he can't really manage responsibility at all. And I mean, I've never been a superhero, but he's been doing this for a long time. He should know how to manage these things a little bit better. Quitters don't get anything. Moving on, we've got Radiant Black. This is the story so far. Free book. Pick it up. Just pick it up, read it, give it a try. If you don't like it, you didn't invest anything. But Radiant Black, one of my favorite ongoing books right now. 10 out of 10. 5 stars. But no, and then we have Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. This is trade paperback volume number 1. You get 4 books for $9.99 from Image. I remember when you used to get 6 issues in a trade. Times we live in, though. I'm really excited. The first issue was good. I do have the first issue, single issue, and I'm really excited to dig into this. Stay locked in. Thank you all. That's all the books I got this week. Kind of a light week, but thank you all so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I would love to chop it up with you in the comments. Talk comics in the comments. Thank you all so much. We're on the path to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for rocking with my top 10 videos at the end of last year. They've been doing really well for my standards. Like one of them's got 4,000 views, and I think the other has like 2,000 or 3,000. So thank you all so much. That's awesome. If you're new here, I appreciate you. Stay locked into my weekly comic book reviews. If you like top 10 videos, if you like weekly comic book reviews, deep dives into certain characters, arcs, and creators, this is the place for you. But yeah, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Hopefully the audio's right on this one. Until the next time, I will catch y'all on the flippy flop. I'm Alex, Graphic Novel Collectors Channel. See you in the next one. Adios.